Good evening and welcome back. Jay Davis from James W. Davis and Associates joins us for It's the Law. Good evening.
Good evening.
Let's see. Georgia prosecutors plan to seek the death penalty and hate crime charges in the Atlanta area spa shootings. Now, 22-year-old Robert Aaron Long is accused of killing 8 people in the March 16th shootings in Atlanta and Cherokee County. 6 of the victims were of Asian descent, and the hate crime law is new in Georgia. So we're going to probably see it play out for the first time. But Jay, kind of explain to us, when can this law be applied?
Well, the law is applied after someone's convicted of some other crime. So it's not a crime in and of itself to have hate and to, use it or to do something hateful to someone. But when it comes out after it's determined that there is a crime and a jury has found that it's a crime, then the next step is to seek that crime was motivated by a protected class, race, national origin, those types of things.
Got it. So what must be proven for that additional crime, I guess, to be added to that?
Well, every crime has an element of what was in your head. So criminal intent is an element of all crimes, that you actually intended to do that crime. It's why insanity or, beyond your own control can be a defense at times, because you do have to have the criminal intent to commit a crime. In this case, the intent has to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which sometimes is hard to do, that the intent was based on that protected class. That in this case, they're saying these were Asian women, and that the hatred was directed at Asian women, possibly somehow linked to the coronavirus, the COVID-19 pandemic, and that type of thing, that somehow or another there's a mass Asian hatred, and that this was the crux of that. If in fact it was just that he had been frequenting these facilities, and these facilities happened to be Asian, and then, as he is reported to have stated, I'm a sex addict and I saw these as being too tempting, then that may not be the basis of the law and the right application of the law. So it's going to depend on what was the actual motive in his head, and that needs to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
If proven, what are some of the penalties for a hate crime here in Georgia?
Well, the hate crime basically enhances the sentence on the underlying crime. In this case, they're looking for the death penalty, so they're likely using that as an aspect to seeking the death penalty as well. It is interesting, it's particularly with the Fulton County prosecutor, who has indicated in all prior in the running for election and that type of thing, that would not be seeking the death penalty. Here has decided that this particular issue, where race, it's a white person accused of some other, the crime being a hatred against some other origin, then that's made her change her opinion on that. So that's going to be an interesting play out on whether people who were so anti-death penalty change their mind when it's something that when it's a crime that they detest more. So,
right.
Aspect.
Definitely a developing story. So, Jay, thank you so much for breaking all that down for us.
Thanks, Kelly. I'll talk to you soon.
The windows on our homes, they protect us and the ones we love, but they do much more. At Renewal by Andersen, making your home more comfortable is at the center of every window we make. It's why we custom build our windows in America and install them in as little as 1 day. It's why we build our frames with exclusive Fibrex composite material that's 2 times stronger than vinyl. It's why our glass helps keep your home warmer in winter, cooler in summer, and quieter all year long. It's why we stand behind every window with a 20-year limited warranty. Why not help lower your energy costs while giving your home and family the best? Call 1-800-525-8048 to schedule a free in-home consultation. Buy one, get one at 40% off with this special offer. Plus, get special financing with no money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 1 full year. Renewal by Andersen, the better way to a better window. Call 1-800-525-8048 now.
Two Broke Girls, weekdays at 12:30 on 41 NBC.
41 NBC, clear, accurate, to the point. This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening. We start with breaking news. Officials say fuel has resumed flowing through the Colonial Pipeline, the critical supply line coming back to life this evening after being held for ransom by computer hackers, triggering panic buying of gasoline in the southeast and leaving several states under states of emergency. Again today, drivers met with out of gas and closed signs at the pumps in many cities in the south. The pipeline, which stretches from Texas to New Jersey, is not expected to return to full operations just yet, leaving continued uncertainty for drivers fearful of running on empty. Our Tom Yamas is in Charlotte now with late details.
Tonight, the Colonial Pipeline is back online, but fear is still fueling the frenzy at gas stations. Outages in major cities making finding gas a guessing game, and in some cases, leading to violence.
Some of the other employees here had to, go out and break up fights. We had customers hitting the machines.
In Pensacola, Florida, 73% of gas stations are out of fuel. In Raleigh and Charlotte, North Carolina, at least 70%. And in Metro Atlanta, 65%. The gas shortage is affecting all types of drivers, including commercial truck drivers. The operators of these big rigs tell me that they need to get their gas now because if they don't, their deliveries are going to be delayed.
So how bad is it? It's bad.
North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, and Florida declaring states of emergency, pleading with drivers to be sensible.
Look, if you need gas, get it, but you don't need to be hoarding it right now. That's going to make it worse.
The average price for a gallon is $3, the highest in 7 years.
I see people with like 50-gallon drums filling up. Do you really need all that? This is how we make our living.
Government officials and oil and gas experts say the problem right now is not a lack of fuel, it's getting the fuel to gas stations.
Send in the truckers would be a great way to do things. Obviously, there's a big kink in the hose, and it needs to be extinguished.
Trucker Ken Kaznowski transports gas for a living. You guys can't keep up with that demand.
Exactly. We're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. Today, we're everybody's hero when we show up at a gas station.
So, Tom, as we've been reporting, the pipeline has restarted, but it's going to take a while to unravel what we're looking at behind you.
That's right, Lester. That's exactly right, because these long lines are going to be here for the time being. Even though the Colonial Pipeline said that they're going to have the pipeline up and running, the problem is the product delivery supply chain. That's going to take several days to get back to normal. Because of that, they're asking drivers here to pack their patience because it's not going to be like it was a couple of weeks ago. So we will see these lines for the time being. Local leaders want to make sure people aren't just showing up here hoarding gas, becoming panic drivers. They want to make sure people are only filling up when they're going low. Lester.
All right, Tom Yamas in Charlotte, thank you. Today, Congresswoman Liz Cheney paying a price for standing up to former President Trump and his election lies, losing her leadership role, but telling Savannah Guthrie she plans to restore the Republican Party. Peter Alexander has more tonight.
Good morning. Tonight, Liz Cheney is no longer the third-ranking House Republican. Moments after her GOP colleagues ousted her from her leadership post, the Congresswoman remained defiant.
I will do everything I can to ensure that the former president never again gets anywhere near the Oval Office.
Her expulsion happening behind closed doors, a voice vote that she did not dispute. Cheney's out after clashing with colleagues over former President Trump's repeated lie that the election was stolen, telling Savannah Guthrie he should not be a part of the GOP's future.
Are you the leader of the opposition in exile right now in the Republican Party?
I intend to be the leader, one of the leaders in a fight to help to restore our party, in a fight to bring our party back to substance and principles, and in a fight to make clear that we won't participate in a really dangerous effort that's underway.
A lot of people frame this as a battle for the soul of the Republican Party.
This is I think, opening salvo in that battle.
But Cheney's critics say her dissent has been a distraction, arguing she's out of step with a vast majority of Republican voters who support Mr. Trump and his agenda. Trump ally Jim Jordan tonight insisting you can't have a conference chair who recites Democrat talking points.
The will of the conference is, so look, we want to be unified in our messaging against the Biden administration's reckless policies that are destroying this country.
Former President Trump praising the House GOP's move, slamming Cheney as a bitter, horrible human being and a warmonger, writing she has, quote, no personality. Meanwhile, Cheney is calling out top House Republican Kevin McCarthy, who backed the effort to remove her.
I think that he is not leading with principle right now. And I think that it's sad, and I think it's dangerous.
McCarthy today at the White House with President Biden, who welcomed leaders from both parties.
But I don't think anybody is questioning the legitimacy of the presidential election. I think that is all over with. We're sitting here with the president today.
President Biden hosting that meeting to see if there's a compromise to be had with Republicans who oppose his more than $2 trillion infrastructure plan.
Easy, just snap my fingers, it'll happen.
But telling MSNBC in an interview airing tonight, he's prepared to move on without them.
And let's see if we can get an agreement, kickstart this, and then fight over what's left and see if I can get it done without Republicans if need be.
And tonight, the two sides are still divided over what counts as infrastructure and how to pay for it. Senator Mitch McConnell setting a red line that Republicans will not support tax increases that President Biden has called for. Lester?
All right, Peter Alexander, thank you. So what is next for Liz Cheney? Casey Hunt is with us. Casey, what can we expect?
Lester, the decision to kick Cheney out of leadership has really raised her national profile, and she's leaning into that. While Kevin McCarthy is looking to the midterm elections in 2022 and possibly becoming House Speaker, my sources are telling me that she's thinking about this in the context of the presidential race in 2024. If former President Trump tries to run again, she wants to stop him from reaching the Oval Office. Lester.
All right, Casey, thank you. You can watch much more of Savannah Guthrie's interview with Liz Cheney tomorrow on Today. In just 60 seconds, with the cost of all kinds of things heading up, just how long will it last?
Cell phone repair.
Did you know Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need? Just get a quote at libertymutual.com.
Really? Let me check that out. Oh, yeah. I think I might get a quote. Not again. Come on, Rice. Do your thing.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
At Fisher Investments, our clients know we have their backs.
How do your clients know that?
Because as a fiduciary, it's our responsibility to always put clients first.
So you do it because you have to?
No, we do it because it's the right thing to do. We help clients enjoy a comfortable retirement.
Sounds like a big responsibility.
One that we don't take lightly. It's why our fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. Fisher Investments is clearly different.
The worst violence in 7 years between Israel and Hamas militants is intensifying tonight, and President Biden is speaking out about the crisis for the first time. Here's Molly Hunter.
Tonight, a direct hit. This 14-story building in Gaza crashing to the ground after an Israeli airstrike. First, Israel fired warning shots. The building had been evacuated. Inside, media offices, including a TV station run by the militant group Hamas. The Israeli military says it was a terrorist target. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu tweeting, "Well done, IDF." Israeli airstrikes pounding the Gaza Strip since dawn. 2 million residents fenced in with nowhere to hide.
We were really heading towards a catastrophe.
More than 60 Palestinians have been killed, including 16 children. This is a crime, this man says. They were civilians. It's the worst violence in 7 years. The Israeli military says they are retaliating after Hamas launched more than 1,000 rockets in the last 48 hours. Tonight, aiming at Tel Aviv for the second night in a row. 7 Israelis have been killed, including a 5-year-old. President Biden speaking on the phone with Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Israel has a right to defend itself when you have thousands of rockets flying into your territory.
And late tonight, the violence spilling into the Israeli streets. A Jewish mob attacking an Arab driver. Brutal scenes tonight, and we are seeing those violent mobs on both sides in multiple Israeli cities, and that's what makes this round of violence different and even more alarming. Lester?
All right, Molly, thank you. Late today, the CDC gave its full backing to Pfizer's COVID vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds. While more than 151 million adults have gotten at least one dose of a vaccine, a push is now on to get kids the shots. Here's Miguel Almaguer.
What a trooper.
12-year-old Jackson Malarker with mother Stacy by his side among the first wave of children to be vaccinated. Today, the CDC greenlighting the FDA's decision to expand Pfizer's emergency use authorization for kids 12 to 15 years old.
I'm
I'm really excited because I've been looking forward to it.
By tomorrow, states nationwide will begin vaccinating the nearly 17 million kids who are now newly eligible. It's believed roughly half of all parents plan to get their children vaccinated, but many still aren't convinced.
I got the vaccine. My dad actually passed away from COVID. I'm on the fence for the kids. I think it's pretty safe, but it's scary always to be the first.
The CDC and AAP provide pediatricians with safety information, urging parents to talk to their trusted care providers.
We can talk them through what the side effects are, what we know, what we don't know. And it's okay to be hesitant. It's okay to have those questions.
Though their infection rates are much lower than adults, since the start of the pandemic, there have been more than 1.5 million confirmed cases in children ages 12 to 17, more than 13,000 hospitalized.
We just wanted to get it as soon as possible.
With doctors promising parents the vaccine is safe and highly effective, tonight studies involving children 6 months to 11 years old are underway. By the end of the year, nearly all Americans will have a vaccine if they decide to take it.
And Miguel, the Ohio governor made news on 2 fronts tonight.
Yeah, he did, Lester. Ohio is announcing its face mask mandate will expire with nearly every other COVID restriction early next month. The governor also says the state will begin drawing to give out $1 million every week for the next 5 weeks for residents who were vaccinated.
All right, Miguel, thank you. In Minneapolis, the judge in the Derek Chauvin murder case has ruled that there were aggravating factors in the death of George Floyd. The judge said Chauvin treated Floyd with particular cruelty. The ruling paves the way for a longer prison sentence. The man leading the Pentagon the day of the U.S. Capitol riot defended his response today and his timing on sending in the National Guard. Pete Williams has more.
A defiant former acting defense secretary said he approved sending National Guard troops about 2 hours after becoming aware that rioters were storming the Capitol, though it would take another 2 hours for them to get there. Chris Miller defended that pace, saying he was aware of the backlash over the role Guard troops played in pushing protesters away from the White House in June and in killing 4 civilians during demonstrations at Kent State University in 1970. He said he wanted to make sure the Guard was fully prepared this time.
This isn't a video game where you can move forces with the flick of a thumb, or a movie that glosses over the logistical challenges and the time required to coordinate and synchronize with the multitude of other entities involved.
That didn't satisfy some Democrats.
Will you at the very least apologize to the American public for what happened on your watch?
Many questions about January 6th remain unanswered, but Congress still hasn't decided whether to appoint a 9/11-style commission to get answers. Lester?
All right, Pete Williams, thank you. A dismal day on Wall Street. The Dow dropping nearly 700 points after consumer prices rose to their highest level in 13 years. Our Stephanie Rule explains why.
As the economy recovers and Americans return to work, they're noticing something.
Food has gone up a little bit. I noticed that.
Gas prices have hurt my pockets going up. Food prices going up has hurt my pockets, my whole family's pockets.
Prices are higher than they remember. Last month, inflation rose at the fastest pace in nearly 13 years. Prices for used cars and trucks soared 21%. Airfares are also up, along with furniture prices. And those daily staples like your morning coffee, lunch, and parking. For the last year, Americans have been at home spending less and saving more. Many also have extra money from stimulus checks.
People have money in their pockets and they're feeling good about the reopening of the economy.
While demand is up, supply is down after the pandemic caused disruptions in manufacturing, farming, and shipping. That led to shortages, driving prices higher. But experts say this is part of the recovery process.
So when people see this number and say, it's huge, do you see it and say, no, it's normal?
I wouldn't call it normal. Nothing we're experiencing is normal, but it isn't something necessarily to panic about.
How long will this rapid rise continue, Lester? Many experts think it'll slow down later this year when we get back to work, back to school, and begin to resume our pre-pandemic lives. Lester?
All right, Stephanie, thanks for putting it in perspective for us. Up next, teens at the forefront of spotting misinformation online.
Some days, you just don't have it. Not my uncle, though. He's taking Trulicity for his type 2 diabetes. And now, he's really on his game.
Once weekly Trulicity lowers your A1C by helping your body release the insulin it's already making. Most people reached an A1C under 7%. Plus, Trulicity can lower your risk of cardiovascular events. It can also help you lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it, you or your family have medullary thyroid cancer, or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Show your world what's truly inside. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Phone it in to 1-800-FARMERS to get policy perks like a home and auto bundle discount.
I'm phoning it in, just save 20%.
Get your policy perks by calling 1-800-FARMERS. Go ahead, phone it in.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Age is just a number, and mine's unlisted.
Try Boost High Protein with 20 grams of protein for muscle health versus 16 grams in Ensure High Protein. Boost High Protein also has key nutrients for immune support. Boost High Protein.
Cabinet, handled. Air, conditioned. Lawn, mowed. Get $20 off your first home project at Angie.com today. Make your home an Angie home. Angie, and done.
When I was little, my mom would take care of me. But since she got cancer from smoking, it's my turn to take care of her.
The people you love are worth quitting for. You can quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for help getting free medication.
Fight fleas and ticks with Seresto. 8 months continuous protection against fleas and ticks. It's effective and vet recommended. Seresto. More on Seresto.com.
New projects means new project managers. You need to hire.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from a resume database. Claim your $75 credit when you post your first job at Indeed.com/home.
Feel the clarity of non-drowsy Claritin and 24-hour relief from symptoms caused by over 200 indoor and outdoor allergens. Try Claritin Cool Mint Chewables for powerful allergy relief plus a cooling sensation. Live Claritin Clear.
Yeah, we'll share our home address for French fries.
It's easy to be unsafe.
So I gave your birth date for free parking.
That's how I got this robe. Now it's easy to help protect yourself. Opt into cyber safety at Norton.com.
Rack up points and win in the 41NBC Auto Racing Challenge, sponsored by Rathfield Tire Master. Log on to 41NBC.com/contest for a chance to win a $200 gift certificate and your chance to win a vacation getaway. Enter today at 41NBC.com/contest.
Do you need a health reboot? We have an easy-to-follow lifestyle system that can get you back on track. 20 goals, lose 20 pounds, and reduce your risk of disease by 20%. System 20 for 2020.
Weekdays at 2 on 41NBC.
It's a chemical spill.
This is causing total vision loss.
Come on.
I can't see.
We continue our week-long look at the social challenge, which is cutting through the deluge of misinformation online, requiring some to become their own fact-checkers. Savannah Sellers of NBC News Now joins me as we look at how some are learning to separate fact from fiction with MediaWise, an organization for which we are both ambassadors. We're inundated with misinformation every day. It's especially dangerous for people like 78-year-old Raj Rangarajan, who spends about 8 hours a day online or watching TV. Were you ever skeptical about what you read online?
Oh, yes. Quite a few times, and it sort of bothered me.
To deal with that sense of skepticism, Raj took part in training sessions with media literacy initiative MediaWise.
What exactly is misinformation?
They work to debunk the viral hoaxes many fall victim to, like false claims about COVID-19, politics, or social justice. When you hear friends say, hey, I saw something on the internet, do you stop them and ask them more questions?
Yes, I do. You become more conscious and you tell them that, don't believe everything that you read.
Is fact-checking hard?
Yes. very much. That challenge is there, especially from a technological standpoint.
Research shows those 65 and older are most vulnerable to sharing misinformation. MediaWise, in partnership with AARP and Facebook, has trained more than 100,000 seniors.
That's right, Lester. It all began with MediaWise's teen program that now includes their teen fact-checking network, made up of dozens of teenagers from across the country, even as young as 14.
We want to tackle stories that are important to us, things we care about, all while teaching you some digital media literacy skills.
You are two members of the world's first and only teen fact-checking network. How cool is that?
Really cool. Really cool.
Angela Lee and Lauren Miranda showed us how they do it. One of their biggest tips? Head to the original source. They looked at this headline: "No screaming on California roller coasters and thrill rides, state guidelines say."
This one is a little bit out of context because while there are guidelines to prevent the spread of COVID in theme parks, they're not going to stop you from screaming on a roller coaster. So that was just super easy because we just went to the original source, the Responsible Reopening Plan, which was linked in the article. And if you had just clicked that link, then you would have seen that that title was a little bit sensationalized.
But that's an extra step a lot of people might not take, huh?
Yeah.
These teens say fact-checking can be as easy as the click of a button.
It's as easy as pulling up Google and putting in a keyword or taking a screenshot and then uploading it and seeing where it originated on the internet.
Fact-checking is super simple and something that anyone can do in just 1 to 2 minutes.
No matter how young or old, MediaWise says there are 3 questions people should ask themselves before sharing content online. Who is behind the information? What is the evidence? And what are other trustworthy sources saying? Great to have Savannah with us. Those tips, by the way, seem to be paying off. A recent Stanford study found older adults who took the course could tell whether a story was true or false 85% of the time. After 19 seasons, Ellen DeGeneres says her daytime talk show will end next year. DeGeneres says she wants a new challenge. Last year, Ellen's show was rocked by allegations of a toxic workplace, but she says that did not factor into her decision. Savannah Guthrie will have more in an exclusive interview with Ellen tomorrow on Today. Also tonight, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is getting 13 new members. The class of 2021 includes performers Jay-Z, Foo Fighters, Tina Turner, Carole King, and the Go-Go's. The induction ceremony will be held in October in Cleveland. And Cleveland will be among the cities we plan to visit next week as we travel across America to report on how the country is reemerging from the pandemic. Orlando, Louisville, Seattle, and Los Angeles, we are also headed your way next week. Up next, how their groundbreaking work led to the COVID vaccine.
Do you like mud? Okay, then go there. You like snow? Go there. Do you like doing things in and around the water? Great, go there. The all-new, adventure-ready Bronco Sport. With 7 available goat modes, built to go over any type of terrain.
Struggling to manage my type 2 diabetes was knocking me out of my zone, but lowering my A1C with once weekly Ozempic helped me get back in it. My zone, lowering my A1C and losing some weight. Now, back to the show.
Ozempic is proven to lower A1C. Most people who took Ozempic reached an A1C under 7 and maintained it. And you may lose weight. Adults lost on average up to 12 pounds. Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or if allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Once weekly Ozempic helped me get in my type 2 diabetes zone. Ask your healthcare provider how it can help you get in yours.
You may pay as little as $25 for a 3-month prescription.
Our retirement plan with Boya keeps us moving forward.
Hey, Kevin. Hey, guys. They have customized solutions to help our family's special needs, giving us confidence in our future.
And in Kevin's.
Voya, well planned, well invested, well protected.
I don't just play someone brainy on TV. I'm an actual neuroscientist, and I love the science behind Neuriva Plus. Unlike ordinary memory supplements, Neuriva Plus fuels 6 key indicators of brain performance. More brain performance, yes please. Neuriva, think bigger.
My tip is, the worst lies are the lies you tell yourself. Like smoking isn't that dangerous.
You can quit. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for help getting free medication.
New Dove Men deodorant is different. It has 48-hour protection and a plant-based moisturizer that cares for your skin. Odor protection that works. New Dove Men plant-based care.
Cranky-pated, a bad mood related to a sluggish gut. Miralax is different. It works naturally with the water in your body to unblock your gut. Free your gut and your mood will follow.
Tomorrow, an NBC News exclusive. Congresswoman Liz Cheney, one-on-one with Savannah Guthrie. In her first interview after the vote to remove her from House leadership, she speaks about the turmoil within the GOP and her own political future. Tomorrow, only on Today. Tomorrow, a Today exclusive. Ellen DeGeneres. After her stunning announcement to step away from her Emmy-winning daytime show, a candid one-on-one interview with Savannah Guthrie. Tomorrow, only on Today.
Is bigger really better? Not one tiny bit.
Tiny game, big bucks. For $250,000. So close.
Small Fortune premieres May 31st on NBC.
Millions of lives are now being saved because of their work. Andrea Mitchell tonight on the scientists who paved the way for the COVID vaccine.
Born in Hungary, Dr. Katie Kuriko came to the U.S. to pursue science in the 1980s. But by 1998, her funding at the University of Pennsylvania dried up.
I tried to get grants, but I couldn't get the grants, and so I was not promoted.
Faced with losing her faculty job, she met Dr. Drew Weissman, who was photocopying journal articles in this building.
When Katie and I would sit and talk, we just kept thinking of more and more things that we could do.
He worked on vaccines. She worked on messenger RNA. Together, they found a way to create a vaccine that got past the body's defenses, but still prompted the immune system to make antibodies to fight disease.
Talk to me about how skeptical people were about the value of RNA. I don't know, did we listen to them? Not really,
I mean, everybody was skeptical, but we didn't care.
How did the breakthrough eventually become acknowledged?
In 2005, we published our paper that's now considered, the game changer.
But the acclaim didn't come.
They really didn't care about it, and it wasn't until around 2008, 2009, when people started to see the potential.
And now they're talking about a Nobel Prize. How does that make you feel? I don't think about that I will get it. It is like I focused always on the work, and that's what excites me.
Today, students follow them asking for pictures. She reminds them glory is not the true reward. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News, Philadelphia.
True heroes of science. That's Nightly News for this Wednesday. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
Good evening, everyone. Breaking news tonight.
Lester Holt.
As more states lift restrictions.
Talking
about jobs.
The most trusted TV news anchor in America.
That's Nightly News. I'm Lester Holt.
The jaw-dropping series everyone is talking about. Debris, Monday.
Baby, you know I'm about that hug life?
Keenan, Tuesday on NBC.
Don't miss Wednesday's most watched dramas.
Did you force him into surgery?
Why would I risk my job?
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
How you and Jay, good thing.
Does it matter?
It sure as hell matters.
An all-new Chicago Wednesday tonight.
Looking for a new job? Top companies in Middle Georgia are hiring hundreds of people right now. Visit 41NBC.com to browse virtual booths of local companies looking to hire you. Learn about each company's culture, the positions being hired, and how to apply for the jobs that interest you.